God bless you, class. Good morning. Today we will learn more about habitat. You know what is habitat? We discussed in the previous lesson. A habitat is a place where a living thing lives, the surrounding of any living thing which provides it with food, shelter, protection, and mates. And this is the place which makes suitable condition for its growth and its reproduction. So the earth is not like at all places, it is different and with different weather and different conditions. So living things are surviving in different areas, in different spaces of the earth, facing and combating the conditions for their survival. So we studied about habitat. There it can be of different kinds, like mountains can be the habitat of so many living things including plants and animals, and the animals and plants which are surviving in desert are suited to desert environment. Similarly, aquatic living things are suited to aquatic conditions, and polar animals and polar region living things can survive at very low freezing temperatures. So, different conditions are studied. Today, we will study more about the possibilities of habitats. Like, if we think of a human being, human beings are dependent on plants and animals for their food. They can eat directly plants, and they can also eat other animals which in turn feed on plants. So and being can also be the habitat of different types of microorganisms such as bacteria. So you see, this picture is showing the possibility of the presence of these worms in our intestine. So when anyone is infected with this disease, then these worms will be growing inside the intestine of human body. So the human body will be the habitat of these insects. Similarly, a tree can be a habitat of smaller plants such as ferns and orchids, and animals such as ants and birds, fungi, and other microorganisms. This is not the whole story. Now, if we discuss who is dependent, plants or animals, so these two topics will be discussed today. First, we see in what ways do animals depend on plants. Are you dependent on plants? Do you eat vegetables and fruits? Okay. Similarly, many animals directly or indirectly depend on plants because plants provide the animals with energy and nutrients. So whatever vegetables and fruits we are eating, they are produced by plants, and we are getting our vitamins and other nutrients by eating plants. So plants provide us with energy and nutrients. Secondly, animals depend on plants for shelter and protection. We are living in our houses, but think about these animals. These animals are living on the trees, among the grasses. They are living in the nest and maybe on a beehive. And second question is, in what ways plants depend on animals? The picture is showing that the elephant and other animals' dung is stored, collected, and it is used as a fertilizer. So how come animal waste can be useful for plants? Because plants make their own food. They do not need to be provided with foods and nutrients, but they are dependent indirectly on animals because animal waste will be providing them with nutrients. which will be absorbed by plants for their growth process. When animals die, the microorganisms start their decomposition, start their function, and they decompose, they destroy or convert them into simpler substances, and those simpler substances become nutrients. Like when the animal dies off, it is decomposed by microorganisms. Similarly, this fruit slice, so the nutrients or the elements or the minerals will be released after their decomposition into the soil or into rivers and oceans, and these nutrients will be absorbed by plants and they will help in their growth. Very important thing about the reproduction of flowering plants. You know, animals become the agent for their pollination. Pollination occurs, basically pollination is a process in which pollen grains travel from one flower to another flower where fertilization happens and the ovary and the flower starts growing into fruit. So this process is done by insects and birds and other animals. So the animals are mating the flowers, they are meeting the flowers, and they are transporting pollen grains from one flower to another flower. So this is how their reproduction is going on. This is not the whole story. The very important thing is going beside it is dispersal of seed. Dispersal means spreading. Like if this bird is sitting on a branch which is full of fruits, this bird is becoming the agent of transporting its seed to other parts. And wherever the seeds are going, the seeds will be growing a new plant. So this is how the plants are increasing their number by increasing their population using these animals as their pollinating agent and as the agent which are used in dispersal or spreading of seeds. So you read the topic from the book. So many beautiful and attractive pictures are there for your understanding and explanation. And today's activity is you have to collect information about the role of animals in reproduction of plants and how they help in spreading their seeds. You just write your answer with the help of attractive and useful pictures and send it back to me so that I will see your work and I will tell you where you can improve further. Thank you, class. God bless you. See you tomorrow.